Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be making the traditional Guyanese black cake. Mostly this is used either at Christmas time um, or for weddings. You can also use this recipe to make wedding cakes. So into my bowl I will add butter and sugar, and I will whip that together until I have achieved a smooth consistency. Well, until the grains of the sugar has been dissolved, right? And then I will add into another bowl, I will add my eggs. I'm using 9 eggs for this recipe. I will leave the full recipe and their measurements into the description box below. Also, I'm adding the essence into the eggs. After I've cracked eggs, I like to add my essence and then beat my eggs or whip the eggs until I get the consistency that I desire. So I'm gonna whip the eggs and then I will add it into my sugar and butter solution. The method of mixture can be done a bit different. It varies from person to person. This is the way I'm doing it. It also can be done by hand, but it would take a longer time. I'm gonna be whipping all the ingredients together. In my bowl I have some dried spices which I'm adding now after I've added the egg batter into the sugar and butter. I've added some orange zest, cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and also I've added some ground cloves. Right, so I'm gonna be adding those dried spices in. Then I will add my fruits that has been soaked in some kind of alcohol or sometimes like a wine. This helps to preserve the fruits. Right? This can be done. The fruits can be prepared by yourself, or you can probably buy the fruits for easier um, access if you don't have the time to make your own fruits ahead of time. This fruits is made like months before, and the wine or the alcohol, it allows it to be cured and preserved nicely. So I'm going to be mixing my fruits in now, and then I will add my other ingredients. After I've incorporated the fruits and the spices into the mixture, my butter, I will scrape down the sides of my bowl. Constantly have to do that to ensure that everything is well mixed together. Then I will add my flour that has been sifted. I'm adding some browning. It's like a coloring that adds the dark tone that the cake has, along with the fruits. This give it that dark looking cake because we're making black cake, Guyanese black cake, right? So we add the browning, and then I have some toasted nuts. This is an optional step. If you are allergic or um, you can't use nuts, you can skip the nuts, but I've toasted up some nuts and I've crushed them a bit, and then I'm adding that in now. After I've added my nuts, that's peanuts. You can probably use any other nuts that you would like, but I am adding peanuts. And then I will add my flour now. So I've already sifted and weighed out my flour. So for this recipe, it's a 1 pound cake, right? So the amount of fruits is 2 pounds. So you have to add, like if you're making 1 pound of this black cake, you would have to add 2 pounds of the fruits, the dried fruits, and the other ingredients. The sugar is a pound. I will add all of this into the description box so that you can understand the recipe better. So I've added my flour, and I will mix until well incorporated. I've added some chopped cherries. I add a little flour to it so that all don't sink to the bottom. So I've dusted with a little bit of flour, and then I will begin to fold it into the cake. Also, I've used vanilla essence in this recipe, but you can use any essence you prefer. I just prefer to use the vanilla essence, but you can use mixed essence or any other one that you prefer. I've already greased and I've applied baking sheet to my pan, and now I will add my cake batter. I've also added baking powder, but the baking powder, it's optional. Some persons don't add baking powder, some would add a little, right? It's what you desire, but it can be an optional thing with this recipe. If you prefer the cake a more like soft, fluffy, you will use the baking powder. If you prefer it to be like a bit heavy and sticky kind of, then you can exempt the baking powder. So after I will apply the add the fruit sorry to the pan, I would give it a little tap so that it can evenly be distributed in the pan, and then I will into my oven. I will add my cake for I put it on 250 setting degrees for about 4 to 5 minutes. Right, you can keep checking it, testing it with a skewer to see if it's done. You can always adjust the setting if it's a bit based upon your type of stove that you're using. Sometimes the setting may be a little different, so you can always adjust the temperature and setting. Keep checking and testing with a skewer. This is our Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy and try this recipe. Thank you.